The man lifted the anchor and looped the rope around his cousin's ankle. If he could eliminate his rival, he would inherit the family's fortune worth hundreds of millions. But at the critical moment, a coughing sound came from behind him.
Who are you?
After all, this was his first time killing someone. Beck couldn't help feeling nervous. What he didn't expect was how simple murder could actually be. There were no surveillance cameras on the yacht. As long as no one witnessed it, this would just be an accident. However, to inherit the vast fortune, Beck still had to eliminate the other 6 heirs ahead of him in the succession line. His next target was his photography enthusiast cousin. During the dinner break, Beck sneaked into his cousin's darkroom. By adding sulfur and potassium chloride to the developing tray, he could create a powerful bomb. When the police investigated, they would simply conclude that his cousin had used the wrong cleaning agent, because Beck had already planted a bottle of sulfur-based cleaner under the sink. Finally, he needed to create a spark to ignite the explosion. He set his sights on the ceiling light bulb. After setting everything up, everyone left. Shortly after, when his cousin returned to the darkroom to continue developing photos, he triggered Beck's trap. But with 2 heirs dying in quick succession, the FBI launched an investigation. When they questioned Beck, he appeared completely composed. After all, there were still 5 heirs above him. It wouldn't be his turn anytime soon, unless Beck continued manufacturing accidents. Before long, he set his next target on an uncle he'd never met, a rock star with a terrible reputation. Beck posed as a journalist wanting to do a feature interview. When his uncle wasn't looking, Beck slipped something into the drink on the table. Once his uncle drank it, Beck would be 1 step closer to the inheritance. But his uncle seemed to sense something and suddenly drew a samurai sword. Beck broke into a cold sweat. On second thought, if his uncle had truly seen through Beck's intentions, why wouldn't he just call the police? Seeing that his uncle wasn't joking, Beck had no choice but to confess his true identity. His uncle was clearly stunned. He'd thought Beck was a paparazzi sent by a rival publication, never imagining he was actually family. To ease the awkwardness, he instinctively reached for the drink on the table. How Beck would explain his identity no longer mattered, because in just a few minutes, his uncle would die of a sudden heart attack. Now there were 4 people above Beck. Naturally, he prioritized an aunt he'd never met. In public, she was a philanthropist who had adopted 11 children, but deliberately made them each learn a different language from 11 countries. The sadism was palpable. After hearing about the succession of deaths among family heirs, his aunt was terrified and installed a laser security system in her home. But she had one habit. Every Tuesday, she went to the salon for a treatment. Beck simply had to disguise himself as a salon employee and secretly apply a special substance to her dentures to kill her without anyone knowing. After eliminating the only female family member, Beck turned his attention to another grandfather, the family patriarch's younger brother. Though nearly 70, his greatest passion was flying planes. He'd rather spend $50 million on a space trip than provide health insurance for half his employees.
50? More like 90.
Clearly, he hadn't recognized his mistakes. So before his next flight, Beck slipped something into his coffee, letting this grandfather rest eternally in the sky. With the murder plan progressing steadily, only his eldest uncle and grandfather remained in the family. But his eldest uncle had always taken excellent care of Beck. From him, Beck experienced familial affection he'd never known before. He didn't want to kill him, but